From our free daily newsletter, the latest from podnews.net with Spots Now. YouTube is the most popular way to discover new podcasts, according to new research from Sounds Profitable and JAR Podcast Solutions. 61% discover shows via either YouTube or social media, but different platforms vary with different ages. The data's a free download. Entertainment shows typically don't perform very well for advertisers, but there are some breakout entertainment podcasts with great ad performance, says Oxford Road in a new Orbit report. The best performing is the Popcast with Noah and Jamie, but Jon Stewart's The Weekly may be the one you've heard about more, and it's at number 3. Trident Digital's US podcast ranker for May 2026 was released. iHeart's Stuff You Should Know became number 1 in weekly average downloads. The top sales network was iHeart Audience Network. Arabic language podcast host Thmania is no longer IAB certified for podcast measurement. It last qualified in June last year. IAB certification requires companies to recertify every 12 months. Audion, Captivate, MediaStream and Podtrack last certified in 2024. Rebel Audio, a new AI-powered podcast platform, launched in March, and it's moved into public beta. The platform promises AI-powered translation, clipping and repurposing, and direct publishing to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and other platforms in one click. The company's launched a podcast to put the platform's capabilities on display. Podcast Review reports from Tribeca Podcast Stage, a nicely written piece involving elevators. Paints a positive view of the future of sound in a video world. Silver Sound and the New York City Podcast Awards announced the winners of the latest Sonic Dash, a competition where creatives are challenged to make an original audio piece within 48 hours. The prize winners are in the Sonic Dash podcast. Top prize went to Go for Broke or Go for Broke, a piece that follows a crew of sailors staving off boredom through acting out their own podcast. Cumulus Media and Signal Hill Insights released the Spring 2026 Podcast Download Report. It reports that watchable podcasts have hit a new height in popularity, and that 38% of weekly podcast consumers listen via a smart TV. However, only 8% say they watch podcasts. And Amazon delivered the most amount of money in podcast advertising in March, says Magellan AI. They spent $7.7 million, according to the company's top spenders list. Genting New York, a gambling operator, is the biggest new spender this month, spending almost $2 million. And our friends at Soundstack just renewed as a Podnews supporter. Podnews doesn't charge to get this email or this podcast. It's people like Soundstack who pay for your copy instead, keeping journalism open for everybody. You can be almost as excellent as Soundstack by becoming a supporter as well. podnews.net/support. And thank you. And in podcast news, in the Podnews Weekly Review this week,
the current model doesn't seem to be working for the average independent podcaster. And I think that is a huge problem.
Losh Moodley on earning revenue for independent podcasters, plus
nonprofit podcasts can actually have revenue. We try to help them figure out how to do that and do it well.
Richard Fowle from Vox Topica on revenue for non-profits, and the Alliance for Podcast Measurement gets a new member and changes a definition already. Plus, the Small Bow podcast has an interview with Anna Sale, the host of Slate's Death, Sex and Money. The Recovery Show features stories about sobriety, mental health and spirituality of people who take their own life in the US. 4 out of 5 are men, yet media rarely speaks to men honestly as men. The Missing Conversation is a new long-form podcast about the passages that define a man's life and launched yesterday. And what happens when 4 of the biggest names in cybersecurity podcasting get together. In Defense in Depth, David Spark is joined by Dave Bittner, Graham Cluley and Leo Laporte to talk about what it takes in cyber media, balancing relations between sponsors and audiences, and how they use AI. And this podcast is sponsored by Spots Now. Spots Now is the AI operating system for podcast advertising. RFPs, vetting, outreach, all handled with custom agents. And your sellers close 30% more. You can book a free demo at spotsnow.io or press the link in the show notes. And that's the latest from our newsletter. To read all the stories and subscribe for free, we're at podnews.net.